Merry Christmas. It is Boxing Day. This is the fourth and final part of our private podcast, the Dog Groomers 2026 Reset. The 4-part private podcast for dog groomers who refuse to repeat another year of undercharging, burnout and uncertainty. My name is Karen Fisher. I am the founder of the Grooming Goddess Academy, and I would like to say Merry Christmas. I hope it was amazing. If you're listening to this, it's either Boxing Day or later. Therefore, how was it? How was the end of your time in the salon? How was your Christmas Day, your Christmas Eve? Was it everything you dreamed it would be? I'm recording this before Christmas, so I have no idea how mine went. But all I can say is that sometimes it's great, isn't it? It's wonderful. Other times it can be a bit of an anticlimax, and that's just the way it is. We spend so much time in December prepping and buying and shopping and visiting and wrapping and grooming and everything else, and it just flies by, and you get to the 25th and it's like, oh, it's done, it's over. There you go, a roast dinner and a Christmas cracker, a nice movie, and you're done. And it's just it's amazing, it's lovely, it's a well-deserved rest. But if you're feeling slightly in any way deflated, that it wasn't everything you want it to be, please don't worry. I think we've all had those feelings at times. It means nothing on you. I think we put so many expectations on ourselves with regards to how Christmas Day should be, especially if we're trying to recreate traditions of times gone by that our parents or grandparents did, or whatever it is. And we don't always kind of live up to those expectations, or we sometimes feel like we haven't done as well as what we thought we would. It doesn't matter, guys. It's a day. It is just a day. It doesn't matter. If it was amazing, fantastic. If it wasn't everything you wanted, please don't worry. It's just a day. So Merry Christmas. I do hope it was lovely, even if it was just you and something with 4 legs and a waggy tail. To be honest, that's sometimes the best way. So yeah, Merry Christmas. Let's move on. So today is part 4, the final part. And I didn't kind of know what to leave you with today. We've discussed 3 key areas in the last 3 episodes of mindset, pricing and marketing. And I've gone off on rants at times. Probably the pricing episode might be the good example there. I've told you things to clear out from 2025 and suggest new habits for 2026. I wasn't quite sure how to wind it up. And I think the obvious topic for anything at the end of the year is like goal setting, isn't it? And what you should be thinking about for 2026. But hopefully, as you may have realized in the past 3 episodes, goal setting is something you can do at any time. You can do it bit by bit. It's not about adding more. It's sometimes about peeling back. It's not quite as set as you think. Goal setting is a very individualized process, and I hope you've kind of learned that from the past 3 episodes, that whatever your goals are will be very individual to you. I'd like to make the point of sometimes progress in your business, in your life, in anything you do, it's not about adding more all the time. Sometimes it is simply about peeling back and finding the best bits and enhancing them. I often see groomers thinking, I'm going to add something new in the new year, whether it be cat grooming, teeth cleaning, spa packages, something else, a self dog wash, whatever it is, selling dog food, whatever it is. What I would ask you is, are you adding that because 2025 didn't quite cut the mustard with regard to your finances? Or are you adding it because you have literally enhanced your current business model to be as great as it can be, as financially abundant as it can be? Why not move on? Because they're 2 very different scenarios. If it's the first one, if it is you find that your basic core business model of dog grooming is not paying your bills, do you really think it's the best thing to add more to your plate before you've learnt what's gone wrong in the first part? Because if you don't have the business acumen to charge the right prices for your basic dog grooming to make the bills, if you don't know how to market what you're already doing, how are you going to have the business acumen to charge the right prices for cat grooming, teeth cleaning? How are you going to know how to market a teeth cleaning schedule if you can't market a dog grooming schedule? These are all business skills. Unless you've mastered them with the basic model of your business, I would say proceed with caution before you add more to your plate. There is no harm in having a very basic business model of just grooming dogs. It can sustain you, it can pay the bills. And if it's not doing that for you, what I would say is, rather than putting a sticking plaster over that and adding more to your plate, maybe look at what's gone wrong. Why isn't it sustaining you? Where are the problems? Is it through, attracting customers, therefore look at your marketing? Is it through the fact you are fully booked, but your prices aren't working out, therefore look at your pricing? Look at the problems you have before you add a band-aid. Because if you're just focusing on, I use the metaphor of like polishing the car's paintwork and making things look better on the outside and adding this, adding that, you need to lift the bonnet and look at the engine. What's going wrong here? And you need to work on the engine, because I tell you which one will make your car run better. It won't be the paintwork. So that would be one of my tasks for 2026, is before you set your goals, decide what it is you really want from your business. Do you need to add more to your plate? Or maybe you just need to drop some things and enhance what you have. Do you need to learn more about your pricing, your marketing? Do you need to learn more about having boundaries with your clients, or handing out terms and conditions and things more, and creating a professional kind of boundary this year before you start adding more to your plate? Okay. What I often ask members is, if you had a dream boss, this magical person that arrives on a unicorn and comes into your salon and solves all of your business worries, like we all wish we had one of them, and they had all the awkward conversations with your customers with regard to their new prices, or how they have to pay more because their dog was matted, or they were half an hour late picking up and therefore, yes, you're adding to their bill. If they could come and take away all the ick, all the awkwardness, all the kind of it feels personal side of it out of your business, what would you want them to do? What would you kind of want them to come in and do? Because I think a lot of the things we'd want from them is to help protect us from being used like a doormat, protect us from feeling that we have to text customers back at 8 p.m. at night, and kind of put in those professional boundaries for us and look after us like we're a member of staff. Well, if you're listening to this, there's a very good chance that you don't have staff and you haven't got a boss. You are probably a solo groomer, perhaps. In which case, guess who your dream boss is? No, it's not me. It's not me. It's you. I am here to empower you. I am here to help you learn the skills to do that. I do apologise. My dog is now shaking his collar as I'm recording this. So it's not Santa Claus jingling. It is Ernie's collar. What would that dream boss do? Because that is you. And what you need to do in 2026 is step into the shoes of that dream boss. That dream boss would bring in policies. They'd not just give out policies on day one when the customers come into the business. They'd give them out every single year. They'd remind them of the policies throughout the year with emails or quarterly newsletters. They'd have the conversations that need to be had. They'd look at their pricing and they'd go out and charge it. They would do all of those things. And as a consequence, they would protect their staff from being used like doormats. Therefore, by stepping into the shoes of your own dream boss, you're actually stepping into the shoes of someone that's going to protect you. Because those conversations that we all dread, like when that customer that you've served for 2 or 3 years and they're so nice, but they're half an hour picking up the dog late and you've now missed an appointment or missed your lunch or missed whatever, and you feel really awkward to have that conversation. And sometimes, being there myself, rather than have the conversation, you back down, you don't charge the late fee, you basically get used like a doormat and you sacrifice your time and money just for the sake of avoiding a conversation. That dream boss would have that conversation. That dream boss would be able to have that conversation because they know that customer gets delivered policies every single year. They know that customer knows that we've had a conversation. You know what? It isn't acceptable. I do finish work at 4 p.m. It's now 4:30. You're late. I am sorry. I'm charging you. Because other businesses have no problem doing this. You have an after school club for your kids. If you're 1 minute past 6 o'clock, in my kids' school, it's £1 per minute per child. So if you're 30 minutes late to get your child, that's £30. If you're 30 minutes late for 2 children, that's £60. And that is charged. And as parents, you just accept it. You don't even question it because you realise you're costing someone else their time. Why do we feel so awkward holding our hands up and going, my time is worth something. My time is worth just as much as yours. You cost me that time. Therefore, you owe this. Your dream boss would step into the shoes and she would explain that in a really professional, nice way. And the customers that respect it go, yeah, of course, sorry, add the £10. The customers that don't, well, they know where the door is. But I promise you, the ickiness, the discomfort of running your business is so much easier when you start putting in professional boundaries. That if you reply to customers that text you at 8:30 p.m. at night, you've just told them they can do it. If you ignore that message and at 9:05 you reply, you're teaching them you will not get a reply from me at 8:30 at night. But the more we let them do things, the more they're going to do it. Because people will. Why wouldn't they? The more we squeeze people in last minute when we know we're full and we eat into our own personal time, the more they expect that of us. So we need to put in professional boundaries. And yes, there are things like professional hallmarks, like software, like emails, like terms and conditions, like proper pricing. And I do have members that are really reluctant to do anything online. They prefer good old paper diary and phone call for booking. Do you know what? I don't push them on that. I encourage software. In fact, I encourage Shake Your Tail because they get a discount as a member. But if they're really kind of want to stick to pen and paper diary, okay, but they do still have to print out T's and C's and hand them out every year. I do still expect them to print out maybe newsletters or information to customers and hand it out, because we can't have an excuse for everything. I'm sorry, we just can't. You can't tell me you don't want to communicate with clients via email or by letter and then complain that they're walking all over you. It's because they don't know the rules. There's ambiguity there. If we're allowing ambiguity, if we're allowing confusion, if we're allowing them not to know our rules, we can't really blame them when they walk all over us. Whereas if we know full well everyone had their T's and C's between January and March, either on paper or email, whatever your format of choice, they haven't got a leg to stand on when we say to them, you know what, you were late, it's an extra £15 on your bill. They haven't got a leg to stand on. So please bear that in mind. The more professional hallmarks you put in your business, the more you will take away that personal kind of discomfort in those conversations. So I wanted to leave you with that, and that because that links to goal setting. Think what you would want your dream boss to do this year in 2026. Think if you want your Christmas to be different in 2026 than it just has been with regard to your working hours or whatever it is, anything at all. And write that down, because that will be your GPS. And then what you do is you plan your path from there. But you are your dream boss. You have the power to be that. You have already built a business. You have already trained, bought equipment, got clients. Yes, it might feel overwhelming. Yes, it might feel a bit of a mess. Yes, you might be wondering if 2026 is perhaps the year you think, I'm leaving grooming. But you have so much potential. You really do, to change things, to press the reset button, to get things back in line and prioritize what you get from your business, not what everyone else gets from it. There is a version of you that was on day one who wanted to become a dog groomer. Maybe that version is someone you remember well. Maybe it is someone who you don't remember what they wanted. And to be honest, it is hard to remember what they wanted sometimes, because 5 minutes on Instagram or Facebook, and I guarantee what they want is already getting drowned out with the noise of what everyone else wants and is doing. You might have had a very clear plan back on day one of why you wanted to be a groomer. Maybe it was to leave a job you hated. Maybe it was to fit around your family. Maybe it was to work with dogs. Maybe it was to work from home. Whatever it was, it's completely individual to you. Do you remember what that was? Do you still want it? If you do, then it's not about adding more. It's about peeling back and finding what that was. Because the more we look at what everyone else is doing, the more we drown out that voice from the groomer on day one, the one who was just about to pay for their training, who was looking into blasters and dryers and baths and the exciting time. Remember that exciting time when we had all the enthusiasm, all the plans? You can have that exciting time again. You just have to be really clear on what it is, and remember, keep those blinkers on, because what everyone else is doing will confuse the issue. 2026 can be the year that you change everything in your business if you want it to be. It's not going to change on January the 1st. It's not going to change overnight. But with small, consistent moves, tasks, business strategies, you can slowly tweak, mold, chip away, enhance, polish, maximize, whatever phrase you want to use, your business to fit into the mold of what you originally wanted it to be. And stop getting distracted by what everyone else's mold looks like. Your mold is very different. But 2026 can be the year that you start making those changes. It can feel very overwhelming when you think of what you currently have compared to what you really want. But I promise you, you have to write down what you want, and then we map the steps along the way. One step at a time is what will get you there. Consistency is what will get you success. Nothing happens overnight. And if it did, to be brutally honest, it probably wouldn't last 2 minutes. Consistency is with habits of looking at numbers, having conversations with clients, writing policies, handing out policies, whatever it is. It takes time, but over time it is very, very achievable. I promise you, because I did that. I was so ready to walk away from my business. I was so ready to leave this industry. I now have a business I absolutely love, dogs I love, customers I love, money that sustains me. And I'm talking about my dog grooming salon here, not about my coaching business. I turned it round, and it took a few months, it did. And it took a lot of determination and consistency. But I promise you, you can do it too. So yeah, I'm going to leave that there. But I just want to say, Merry Christmas. Have an amazing break over the next week or two if you are off. But there is a dog groomer in 2026. There's a version of you that has everything she wants. Follow her. Let her lead. Step into her shoes and be your own dream boss. You have the potential. You have everything you need. If you want my help, you know where I am. The Grooming Goddess Academy doors are open until the 7th of January. We are here to cheer you along. It is the business resource with lessons on literally everything I have covered, from learning to calculate your prices, looking at your marketing, how to brand yourself to attract the right kind of customers. Everything you could possibly want, we have inside the academy. I'm going to do my little sales pitch now because, as I say, why the heck not? We have amazing people in the academy too, not just members I'm talking about here, but there's not just me giving you content. We have the lovely Laura Murray, who used to run a business called Virtual Dog Groomers. She is a dog groomer herself, and every month she drops Canva templates and a little bite-sized lesson on your social media or your Canva. The amazing vet Sophie Bell from Animal Love First Aid has joined the Academy team for 2026, and she again will be releasing monthly lessons on things to be aware of as groomers in the salon. Everything from dental care to ear plucking to signs of illness in dogs. All of these things will be getting covered month by month. You have the Grooming Goddess Pathway. This is an online course. It's quite a meaty one, I'm not going to lie, and it is released module by module, month by month, helping you press that reset button, helping you look at your prices, look at your branding, look at your marketing, helping you think about how to put out a website. All of these things, we help you with all of that, and you can study it in your own time. There's no one breathing down your neck. It's not a pressurized academy at all. Every month we have a Zoom where you can come and join and ask questions if you want to. It's completely optional. We're not going to say, where were you? We're not bothered. It's fine. They're a popular place to chat. It's great to pop in. We have our own private community forum where you can, again, put any questions you have either about content and lessons you are currently studying in the academy or things in your business, or, let's face it, it's a community of over 200 dog groomers. There are styling questions in there because we do have groomers that are brand new. In fact, we've got a few that have been there for a few months that are going to open in January, which is so exciting. And we've got other groomers that have been grooming 25 years in there. So whatever your questions are grooming wise, they are also very much covered. Don't you worry. We are all groomers. And we also have our template library, which is what you might think. It is wording for policies, letters to customers, things like T's and C's, all of these things. And you get access to this business resource, because it is basically a business resource, for £23 a month or £230 a year. Things, if you're monthly, they are drip fed, so you get new content every month. If you are annual member, you will get everything instantly. That can be overwhelming because there's a lot of stuff, but you do things at your own time. So if you are interested in joining the Grooming Goddess Academy, The doors are open until January 7th, and then they are closed again until later in the year. When we reopen, the price will have risen. This is your last chance to lock in the price of £23 a month. If you have any questions at all, by all means DM me. If I catch it this week, I will certainly reply to you. But yeah, we'd love to see you inside. We are not a cult. We are not checking up on you constantly. It is a business resource. It is not one-to-one coaching and hand-holding. That's why we can keep it so cheap, because there are hundreds of you in there. Therefore, it is very much self-study, self-discipline. It is up to you to log in, watch the lessons and do the work. If you have questions, of course, I am there in the community to answer, or at the monthly Zoom coaching calls. But I am not hand-holding or personally coaching you and your business. It is entirely up to you to find what you want and then watch the lessons and make those changes. Okay, so that is it. 2026 is your year. Go out and blooming well grab it. I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Dog groomers of 2026, we've got this. One groomer at a time, we are going to elevate our industry, and I know you've got it. Have an amazing new year. My name is Karen Fisher, founder of the Grooming Goddess Academy, and I have absolutely loved these podcasts, and maybe I'll see you in 2026 with something a little bit more regular. Thank you so much. Happy New Year, guys. Bye.